Welcome to episode 4 of the To Healing Project Breakdown. Again, for those that don't know, my name is Shelby Paris. If you have not watched the first few episodes, episode 1, we went over the full project overview. Episode 2 was talking about the short series, and episode 3 was breaking down the cover art. And here in this episode, I wanted to talk about some of the difficulties in the project. So jumping right into that, I first started recording this project about 2-3 years ago. The first song I recorded for was Why. I mentioned that in one of the other episodes, but the first song I recorded was Why. That actually was in a batch of songs that got mixed with my EP just for fun. So that itself, foreshadowing, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. That one was mixed differently than how the rest of the project was mixed, which was something that had to get done later. So the first thing that was faced with this project as we went through the recording, I want to say I finished all the songs in 2023. Mother Gaia, which is the bonus song on there, was recorded in 2024. And when I finished it, sent it over to Ali, and at the time he just had some family things that were going on, and with that, because of that, that started the first delay of the project. Now, I also would like to acknowledge and say I do believe in divine timing, everything happening when it's supposed to happen. So at the time, I'll say this, when I wanted to put the project out, I don't think I would have been able to do it properly. Everything that I'm doing now was just because I was able to grow, mature. I understood and knew that I had to do more than just put the music out and hope that something would happen. I also, like I said in earlier episodes, was receiving a lot of support and encouragement from people that were hearing the project as it was being put together. And they were telling me, ultimately, Ty, no matter what, you gotta put the project out. You gotta put the music out. People gotta hear it. Also, with sharing it with people, there were a lot of people that were such fans of what I was doing. I want to thank, whether it gets heard or not, people like Kendrick Lamar, Pusha T, even though Pusha T is way later, and Clips and everything that's coming out right now, or came out recently. I want to say Kendrick was what opened the door for lyricism to be received again. That was something I was concerned about. If I was to put the project out a couple years ago when I wanted to put it out, would it be received properly at a time where it seemed like party, fun, upbeat music was more the theme? I can admit, or I at least understand, I'm not a party hype artist per se. It's not that I don't have songs that aren't more upbeat that could make you want to maybe run through a wall if you're an athlete, or something that could, I got my version of Annie Up or just different hype songs, but my catalog more similar to, again, some of my favorite artists, the Coles and Nas, and people that were giving a true theme of the project. Somebody like Kendrick, where we're really trying to tell a story and paint this picture for the listener. It's not so much about, or it's not necessarily to be played in the club. If I have something that becomes an anthem or played in the club, great. But the music I make is more, it's more for us, maybe video games or sync style music, sync kind of music. Is for video games, film, TV shows, soundtracks that would need something that represents and speaks to a main message, theme, lesson of something, or there's a designated arena for the music I make. So that was one of the concerns I had at the time. Would the project be able to be received properly? Another one of the obstacles I would admit to is I definitely was looking to rush the project at the time. I maybe write a song, maybe weekly, you could say. But usually when I start writing a song, I come across 2, 3, 4 instrumentals, and I'll be writing to all of those. Plus, I may have heard an instrumental from a project, i.e. Clips. I might have heard an instrumental that I then wanted to go rap to. So now I end up writing 3-4 songs at a time. Gratefully, those typically get done within the month, but not also important. I say that to say, when I am writing, I do tend to want to rush the process. Something that came along differently for me later with recording this project, or at least later as in once I start recording the second half of the project. Because I have to wait before going to record again, it gave me that time to practice and go through the reps of the song so that I can deliver the song better for what it is I'm actually going for. So when I say second half of the project, to introduce it, the project will have a deluxe. The deluxe will be another 7 songs. That itself will be titled individually, but you could tell by the cover, it's the same theme, and it will be titled Deluxe as well. Again, that deluxe is connected to this project being To Healing. So when I was recording those songs, I was able to deliver it so much better and see such an improvement in me as an artist. That was one of the biggest things I would say I had to work on, was my delivery, just understanding when to go high, when to go low, how to pronounce words, the enunciation of things. Cut this short, let's drag this, or let's have this damnly roll over into the next word or the full sentence or whatever it may be, or the full bar, I should say, whatever it may be. So the second half of this project, as in the deluxe version, way better rapping than what is or of with the first part. But the first part, again, was designated to a specific theme. Getting back on track, after that obstacle with just Ali having a setback and needing to step away, with me wanting to put the project out and then being sat down and told to wait, this is not the proper way in which you're trying to do it. Life itself just started, I'll say, improving for me. Blessings and things coming through. At the same time, more challenges. Like I'm pretty sure I mentioned in an earlier episode, we got our first apartment together. So it was moving into the apartment, dealing with just the changes in work, the changes in pay, the changes in income to expenses, me still trying to take the steps forward and work towards and on the project, while also having to take care of these other things, as y'all might see from the corner of the video. Getting Pluto, adopting him. So now that becomes the expense, along with the responsibilities that is of owning a dog. During this time, again, just life. Had weddings to go to, baby showers to go to, birthday parties to go to, the car breaking down, getting in accidents and having to get the rental cars. I had 2 rental cars because I got rear-ended twice within these 2 years of working on this project, 2-3 years of working on this project. What else? Outside of the environmental changes, just changes in self, growing into a new place and state for myself. Not even sure if I still wanted to put the project out, but I do stand firm in every piece of art deserves its own life. Do not hold on to the art, put it out, allow it its own chance to grow up. I treat it just like a baby, just like a child. Your art is your baby, your art is your child. Every piece of art deserves to go have its own life. And as everybody will say, you never know what it will do for you. So this is something that, even though I did not feel as connected to it at the time, still wanted to put it out anyway. As time went on and I was finally able to start doing the mixes, I was paying in increments. So things were delayed in that sense, I guess. And maybe I'm using delayed for lack of better words, but as time was going on and I now was gathering the money to invest into the project more, I had to do things piece by piece. I might only be able to give this amount of what the mixing costs per song is, and whatever could get done with that could get done with that. And then I come back later and pay more. Then I come back later and pay more. Then, oh, all right, word. New financial opportunity comes up. I'm now reffing games and I got my set days that I'm able to ref. So now that money can go right into this because I'm able to take care of my bills with this. during the time itself. What else is happening? Oh, so yeah, getting the project over, getting the mixes done. Again, respect to Ali and just the stuff that he was working on and what he had to do. I know again, shout out to, congratulations. I'm always happy and proud of and for him. He gets a lot of work. So even in that, all right, whenever I could kind of get this done, let me get this done. Let me try to put towards it so that I can have everything together and he can at least have it already so that he can get to it as and when he's able to get to it, when he's finished working on all the other projects. And just, again, he has his own life. People themselves have their own lives. I'll often say, I don't understand why creatives, especially artists in terms of music, feel so entitled, are so arrogant. For many of us, especially as independent artists, we're coming from a place where you might have had a regular job. We might have barely been making $30,000, $40,000 a year. Plenty of stories of people that were working in retail and it might have been commission based. You were maybe getting $600, $700 every 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden we feel like we deserve to be paid these millions and that everybody should be wanting to hear us and wanting to purchase from us. But it doesn't work like that. Everybody has their own life, their own things, their own life responsibilities, their own expenses. Just everybody has their own that they have to take care of. And that's something I always give respect to. So as I was sending this stuff over, it was definitely, hey, it's no rush. When you could get to it, you get to it. Because I understand I'm not even able to give and pay the full amount right now to move forward with the project. As the mixes start coming in, obviously, like every other artist, you go through different cycles of mixes. I would definitely say the first few I was getting, well, this is the irony in it. I liked them, but it didn't feel right for the project, which definitely led me to different points of just bitching, complaining, not sure what I wanted to do with it, feeling a little overwhelmed, a little anxious, because I was treating this like an album for myself. To me, this was to be my first album and something I put all this energy towards. I just maybe last year or so said, okay, I think I want to take rap seriously. You could say imposter syndrome. I just didn't want to necessarily accept or believe I was as skilled as what others say I am. I still don't even know if I'm as skilled as what others say I am, because I have the artists that I love. Hell, I'm listening to clips right now and just constantly saying, damn, how do they do that? When you listen to, or when, as my favorite rappers being people like Push, Hove, Cole, Joe Budden, Nas, Fab, Meek, The Lox being my favorite group, hearing what Malice just did, you can't help but kind of question yourself and see, okay, how do I measure up against other people who may be around my age group, even though they've been in the industry for however long, and these people that I think if I was to, say, get signed by somebody right now, how would I do if I was in a Dreamville and I was next to the Jids, the Kaz, if I was next to even somebody like a Reason, who's such a spitter, somebody like Boss or Stove God Cooks, just these different and amazing artists. How do I measure up to them is what I'm always looking at. Just seeing myself being able to perform on that field. Those are the guys that I look at. So when I hear and have other people telling me how fire this thing is, I still find myself, well, yes, I can't even say find myself. I am looking at those that I believe to be at this level already. And that's the level that I have to get to. And even if I feel lyrically, I'm up to par with a lot of these people up here, especially with the circumstances right now. I'm mostly writing my songs in the car while doing my Instacart deliveries. I feel like lyrically I'm up there with those guys. But then there's the other facets of the song. It's not just the lyrics, but picking the beats, having access to those beats, and ultimately just being able to still deliver at the quality and level as those people who have all day to just sit and think of raps, versus me having these pockets of the day where I could really think and put something together. So getting back on track with it, that was a delay I was having within or for myself. It was, this is the sound I'm going for, and I'm hearing how clear and crisp Doshi sounds, and I'm hearing how little reverb and how little ad-libs and in and outs that these other artists are using. I want my voice to be just as sharp, strong, prominent, and I don't know if it's the proper term, and I think is heard perfectly with clips. Little to no ad-libs, little to no underlayers, in and outs and all that with the verses. And it's the vocals really standing out in front, and then the beat following and being, I can't really say behind it, but right there with it, right there. But the lyrics or the vocals still kind of stand out in front. And that was something I was going for. But again, in the beginning, feeling like the things are not hitting as I wanted it to, after having a conversation with my older brother, who's also an engineer, who mixed all those Silhouette projects for me, he let me know, yo, you got to let the experts do their job. Let the people whose job it is to do these things and bring these things to life, bring it to life. They know things you don't know. And when he said that, it was, yo, you're right. You're right. I think I texted Ali that day saying, yo, my fault, man. I know I'm in the way. I'm holding on too tight with this. And, I need to move out the way. Hey, whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you are to do, this is the reason why I come to you for these projects. Dog, you got it. I trust you. Please take care of this and do what it is for you to do with it. Now, as I was getting mixes back, I would say one of the things that was throwing me off, because you're getting individual mixes, and how I do it, I put it right into this folder, I'll say, and sequencing it, and I'm able to hear everything in order. I'm able to hear and listen to the project in sequence. So when you're hearing this mix like this, and then you hear this being a rough, it throws you off. And that's something I was dealing with. Not so much demoitis, I would say, although demoitis is something a lot of people get caught in. I don't believe it was demoitis so much for me as much as it was, I was going for the consistency of what we did with the other projects. With the other projects, to me, it just, whatever style he mixed it, and which is how we connect back to why my expectation and idea was it to sound like how Y was mixed, but then improved upon at least just whatever pitches, frequency, quality, whatever, from this being like this, as in the prominence of the vocals, the beat being right where I wanted to be, the vocal levels again being where I wanted to be. This, when I got the new mixes back, fell in love with them, at least maybe a love at first sight as I thought. Then I pulled myself back and started having questions to it. And then once it came to making some of the final decisions for the mixes and us going through different, I guess, styles of mixes that he was doing with the songs, with Mother Gaia being the main one that he honed in on, and we used that as the sample or the reference one, I ended up saying, yo, you know what? I like how these sound in the first one. So had to apologize for that. He let me know it was all good, and that is a common thing that happens. But again, this is why I work with the person I work with, because I trust their ears and their touch to the songs and handling of my voice, vocals versus the beats perfectly. Another delay that was going on or happening through the project, just recording itself, things that I wanted to go back and do that I wasn't able to. I just didn't have the time, or I was just tired. It's hard to go back and re-record, or not so much add things in, but yes, to re-record and maybe clean up things after you've already done it, because you feel like I already did this. I don't know if I could even match the vocal tone. I got to get that same inflection in my voice. It might just be a whole different time of day, whatever factors happen in this day. You might be going back to a song weeks later. That's something I'm not so fond of. I push myself to do when I have to do it, which may lead to a song getting completely re-recorded. But I definitely have things in the music that I'm sure other artists will speak to that I would have changed. I would have added this. I would have did this better. Again, maturing with the music. But I'm still grateful, appreciative with where it's at, how it is. And I look at this again, like I said before, like a time capsule with some of the references that are wrapped in here. But just the appreciation for what it is, where I was at that time and space of recording, what my skill level was at that time and place of recording. I would say I made such leaps from that first project, Raps, to even that second project, Just for Fun, now to this. If I could, I probably would do it over again in a different environment. I don't record in the studio. I just haven't found much comfort in the studio yet. I record, shout out to JR, who is the recording engineer I work with. We record at his crib. So I'm pushing myself to be more comfortable and start going to the studio. I recorded 2 songs, I want to say, in a studio before, and I just didn't like it so much. And I booked the big room so I could get the full experience, and I just wasn't it for me. But personality as well, because I was the same way when in school. I much rather sit in my dorm room, study, read, do what I need to do from the room than my roommate, best friend, who would have to go to the library and get his work done. This was easier for me, or this was more comfortable for me. Some of the other obstacles that came about the project in the short series itself, time of stuff. Militia Films, shout out to my man Malik. He was the person that was recording the first episodes of the short series. So in that, it was difficult of even just, well, you know what, this whole segment itself. I didn't necessarily know what the video stuff was at first. I knew I wanted to do a short film. I said it in the earlier episodes, episode 2, but I knew I wanted to do a short film. I didn't necessarily know how to put that together all the way. One of the things that he made me do was to actually come up with a shot list and write out a script. That was not something I had planned on doing, not something that I'm used to doing. I might write the things that I'm going to talk about, or at least have a list and know of things I'm going to talk about. That may be kind of the public speaker part of me. You will write out the speech, but then you'll just go off these keynotes to keep you on track of what you're talking about. That's something I was actually disappointed about with last episode. I was super tired, but I said I was going to record episode 3 that day that I recorded it. It took me maybe 20 something takes to do that, legit about 20 something takes, because I don't like jump cuts. I want to just talk straight through and just have a nice, clear, clean, smooth video, pushing myself, challenging myself as a public speaker. And I haven't went and spoke anywhere in a while. This is my way to resharpen that tool, get in front of the camera, make sure everything is set up, hit play, or hit record and talk. Just go ahead and flow. Plus, for those that know me from however many years ago, let me see, 23, 24, I probably was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. That used to be on my book sales, just being on live before you could be on there more than whatever the time length is now. But before you could be on more than an hour, I used to be on there, have to give a little spiel in those last 20, 30 seconds, let people know, hey, it's about to end. Once this ends, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. You're going to see the subjects that were spoken on in here. And then I'll come back on live. And I used to try to take notes during the live, write the subjects, keep the timestamps, upload it, put a cover, title, something like that there. Again, the caption would have what was spoken on in the video, and then I'll come back live. So that used to be something that I'd be on there doing 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I used to be on about 5, 6 hours. So in terms of talking by myself to the camera, that was always a comfortable place for me. having to write a script. See, I can always draw it back full circle. Having to write a script and really break down what this project is to somebody else so that they can follow it and help me execute it. That was different for me, script and shot list. So that was the first obstacle of it, writing the shot list, writing the script. The second one was just working with people themselves when you could tell is not fully received what you're saying or conceptualized fully. One of the questions that I was asked, or that Malik asked me, when does this end? It seems like it has no end. It wasn't until I talked to my man's DJ where I realized what I was doing was a series more so than it was a short film. I do plan on, or was planning on already, putting all the videos as one, but it was initially going to be released, like I said in episode 2, formatted for YouTube and socials so that it can be posted in the 9x16 and 16x9, and you'll be able to see the different ones. So even that, just explaining that, Malik was not necessarily understanding or receiving the fact that I wanted it to be in this frame rather than this frame. So I had to explain, or had to make sure every time, hey, let's capture this from far. Give me this space and room to work with, because I know what I want to capture, but even that, not articulating, well, communicating specifically what of the frame I was trying to capture in that, whichever one, what is it? Length times width. So in the 16x9 opposed to the 9x16, what I wanted to capture for that. One of the other obstacles that was faced in recording a short series, just the ideas and concepts themselves. Like I said before, I didn't want to actually be the actor for it. I wanted to, at least ideally, I would have hired and gotten other people to be my actors and actresses in the project. I wanted to direct it for sure, but wasn't able to, or just didn't have the resource to do that. If I wanted to take more time, I'm sure I could have found people, but it was just faster and more efficient if I just went ahead and did this stuff. But I think it also works out well, and this is something not necessarily an obstacle, but I'm disappointed of, and I thank Sasha for actually pointed out, of saying you're aligned with the artist world. You're aligned as an artist. I was speaking to her about, shout out to 2 Chainz and Red Clay, the project, well, short film Red Clay that he's doing, and the soundtrack he did to that was something, it was kind of the idea that I'm having. And then her being such a Bad Bunny fan, Bad Bunny is doing everything that I wanted to do with this project. Unfortunately, I ain't Bad Bunny, so I don't have the resources to execute it in that way, but it is inspiring watching him put out the 10-minute short film, or I think it was 10 minutes, but 10, 15 minutes. I want to say 2 episodes of a short film, or 2 different short films, watching how he's doing the music videos for the most recent project, and just how he's highlighting Puerto Rico and pointing out the gentrification that's going on in there, and really sharing and delivering this message, and how he's doing it visually with these stories and capturing the history of Puerto Rico from the flag to the original people of the land. It's amazing. This would have been a full production. And again, this would have been a short film and just chopped down into pieces rather than the short series I'm doing, if was able to. But in due time, I'll be able to put together a full short film. Another one of the obstacles in it, just the acting part itself, making sure I was delivering properly what I wanted to, executing. I can get real particular at things happening. So understandably so, there's times where I'm telling Sasha and Malik what I'm going for and constantly repeating things, because to me, the body language wasn't telling me that what I said was received. So I'm feeling like I have to explain myself more, led to over-explaining, which eventually led to, all right, well, we got it. You're confusing us more the more that you talk. Okay. Understood. Definitely understand that. Because it is a silent video, a silent film concept, I'll just say silent film because I'm not sure the specific title it should be given, but because it is a silent film, that still don't sound right. Because it's a silent voice-overed project, the emotions had to really be felt. I'm known as a fairly stoic person, so that was even a challenge. Well, that was a challenge for me to really deliver these facial expressions and try to capture what would have been a mood board, what would have been happy, sad, what would have been the anger, what would have been hunger, what would have been guilt, passion. To capture all of these, I would have definitely needed a coach, and I definitely would have needed practice. But we were able to get out there, executed the best that we could, capture what we could. I'm happy I had morals because there were times where Sasha might have been sick and I wanted to record that. I'm not even going to hold y'all. I even asked her if I could record it because I wanted the rawness and authenticity of it. But having the morals, I didn't do that. Another one, obstacles itself, just not wanting to record outside when a lot of people were around and watching. Not having that confidence yet. And I also am very new to a camera. By episode, I want to say we recorded 3 episodes because one of them I had to go do myself. So we made kind of a jump, if I'm not mistaken. Me and Malik did 3 of the episodes, which I believe was 1, 2, and 4. And then I had to go do 3, if I'm not mistaken, because he did the intro, run your race, and why. I had to go back and do vent. Yeah, from vent, and the rest of them was me recording. So he had let me know before, and I was constantly asking what cameras I should get. I was doing research for it. The camera I landed on was the Lumix S5 Mark II. I personally love it, have fell in love with it. When I touch other cameras, it feels awkward for me because I don't know other brands so much. This is the first camera I'm really getting to use. So when we talk even the financial obstacles of the stuff, I was busting my ass for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, just working to be able to go get a camera so that I can finish shooting a series and get something that was of the same quality or better in terms of equipment so I can record this properly. And like I said, landed on this, definitely fell in love with it. I'm a big fan of this Panasonic Lumix for sure. I definitely want to get the SR1, SR2. I'm not sure which one it is, whatever the newest one is. That's something I definitely want to get eventually. And these S-series, L-mount lenses and all that, super fire. I'm a big fan of. But to the main point, this camera was $1,600. I was able to get an open box for $1,600. Again, I was working. They had one in a pretty good condition at Best Buy near me. Then that sold. Then I was able to find another one that was about an hour away and just stayed out late doing deliveries. It was a Saturday night. Maybe 8 o'clock. I got an order at like 7:15. The store said they closed at this time. I was able to call to make sure they had the camera, had to hurry up, go take this order because it was like $40. And just scraping up all the money that I could, was able to finally get the rest of the money I needed literally after that order to go up there. I had like $300-400 in cash that I had to pay, and then the rest was paid with what I had on my card. So again, busting my ass to get that camera. And transparency, the delay on rent, like this is the effort that was put into this project. Getting the camera. Now we got to pay that $250 late fee for rent. During the time of working on this project, my student loan reduction stopped. So my student loan went up $200 plus the prorate for our rent has stopped. We were able to prorate the year the month of free rent throughout that first year of us living here. So not only with the rent increase itself, but also the prorate ending, rent went up about $300. So that was another $500 that I had to try to work with. And then you add that $250 late fee after getting this camera because I got it. Let me see. The week after I did the cover photo shoot, we did that May 16th or something like that. April 16th, something like that. I know it was definitely hot out, and it was around spring break for the schools here. So whatever that Friday was during that spring break, went and got everything done, when I did the photo shoot, I was hoping to have the camera before the photo shoot so I could be recording a vlog and the rest of the finishing of the project, or the rest of the project, so that I could have those vlog videos to put out. But didn't work out like that. Again, divine timing to whatever this is developing me back for. Maybe I do actually have a podcast coming. Never really wanted to do a podcast. This, I guess, is my version of a podcast, these talking head videos. It led me to here right now doing these project breakdowns. So yeah, those were some of the financial setbacks, the student loans, the rent, got the camera. Then I had to go get a computer at one point. The laptop I have just was not able to handle these 4K videos and all the power that it takes for this. So I spent however many months, had my budget in mind, wasn't trying to spend more than $1,000 really. Costco had a computer I was a big fan of that was about $1,200, I want to say. And long story short, shout out to the dude I was able to buy off of was able to get a really good laptop for $550. I know it was listed as a gaming laptop. I needed it for video and I love it. My setup system works for me. So again, back to that point, Malik telling me eventually you're going to have to get your own camera, finish this, because he was in a class and had his projects that he had to work on for class. And shout out to him. Congratulations to him for what his short film is doing and all the submissions that he's already moved forward in. Had to go get my own camera, had to keep writing these scripts out, had to keep writing out these shot lists and going out to try to execute shooting on my own, where one of those days, scenic route, I believe, hot as shit. For scenic route, it was super, super hot, but still got everything shot that needed to be shot. I definitely know better angles could have or would have been captured if I had a monitor, but I love that I could use the phone and connect right to the camera and do remote shooting from there. If I had a monitor, if I had an extended battery on there, a external battery to plug it into, that definitely would have helped my shooting a lot more. But you use the resources that you have. Another obstacle. What a car. I mean, the car is a common thing. I don't think I need to come over the car. Let me think. Let me just think. Were there much more obstacles in this project that got in the way? Yeah, outside of regular, relationship stuff, and you might get in trouble for things because you're delegating your time or trying to delegate your time between however much. Just spreading myself thin was something that I had to figure out and balance. Just being a creative and you start getting anxious with the project itself. You don't know how it's going to come together. You don't know when it's going to come together. You're playing the waiting game a lot, waiting for the mixes. The pictures didn't take me long at all to get. I was able to schedule the photo shoot, go do it, if not that week, the week after. And she got me the pictures back in about 4 or 5 days. So that was great. The cover might have got made that night. Getting a recording of the project, doing the deluxe of the project, which I didn't necessarily know was going to be a deluxe. If this was happening on my timing, project would have been out about 2 years ago. Because I do have another project written right now that I wanted to be able to put out this year. I was looking to put out what would have been this project in December. Yeah, about December. And then releasing the deluxe in January. Again, God's timing, divine timing. So we still looking like that, which I always laugh at and find ironic because which silhouette video was it? It was the first one I dropped, which was called the warm-up freestyle. At the end of it, I say, clearly ain't coming in June no more. Because I recorded that whatever time last year, thinking I was going to be able to put this out in June, and clearly it ain't coming out in June. I will say I kind of regret saying that because maybe if I didn't speak those words on myself, or at least the 2 years ago, the June that it was supposed to come out, it would have been able to come out this June, since it's July 31st as I'm recording this right now. So maybe this would have came out this June if I didn't speak that, but hey, it ain't coming out in June no more. So here we are today, July 31st. I still don't have an actual release date for it yet, but I'm not mad at it because the project is going to come out when it should come out. Again, I'm seeing this shift in music point towards people like me and what I'm looking to do. Plus all the information I've been coming across and making sure I was able to register my music in all the proper places and set everything up properly between BMI, ASCAP, Sync, Music Match. I'm really, really, really grateful for Threads and these people who are posting and talking about music on there and what you should be doing as an independent artist and their successes as an independent artist going through the channels that they went through. So that has been something that's definitely been great for me as well. So let me think. Is there anything else of or about this project that was an obstacle that I need to share? Got the camera, got the mic, still got to get a monitor, got the tripod. Gratefully, I got the lights, which was something that I purchased a while ago, knowing I was going to be doing stuff. Honestly, at the end of the day, and I will always remember and be so grateful to shout out to Bryce, BR Media, but just him telling me, yo, I'm always amazed at her. You have such a skilled talent for taking such little and making something great with it. You really utilize and maximize the resources you have. And I say thank you to my little brother for the reminder of that, as he got his camera, if not before, around the same time as me. And he has how do I word it? He has an older camera than what I have. And then what he's using it for is different than me. I needed a video, mainly a cinema type camera where he's focusing more on photos, but him saying I'm using everything and doing everything manually because I want to really learn how to use my camera and maximize it rather than just trying to set everything to auto and being handicapped to that. I'm so grateful he made that point because it reminded me to do the same thing. Take your time, go through the learning curves, take the bumps and bruises. Hell, me and Sasha were trying to record something and I put the transmitter into the wrong port. So I put it in the headphone port rather than the microphone one. And yeah, that thing that we recorded just gone. All the audio just was no good because it didn't capture the microphone. So things happen, I say that to say at the end of the day, things happen. So I think that's a good enough point to everybody who's been tuned into these videos, this mini podcast I've been having and this breakdown I've been having of the project. I truly appreciate you. Hopefully comments are coming in. Again, I'm recording this before releasing the rest of the stuff for the project. So as the project date or as the release date is put out there, hopefully you guys are able to see this video before that. Please, all the engagement things as needed, comment, save, share, like, spread the word of the project. That's going to be the biggest thing. Please spread the word of the project. DM me. I and I ain't gonna hold you. I screenshot like all of them. Please DM me and send me all positive feedback that you have. If you do have critiques or resources that can help, not criticisms, I don't want to hear no criticisms. I'm working on something. I'm new to it. I don't want to just be told what's bad or what's wrong. Please provide critiques. Tell me how I can be better with it. Tell me the next direction I can go in and the steps I could take to be better with this stuff. Like I said in an earlier one, directing is something I would like to get more into and being behind the camera. So if you do have information on that, information on affiliate marketing, information and connections to any music supervisors and people who greenlight getting my music, I think my music is perfect for, like I said earlier, it's perfect for track lists, playlists, video games, TV, film. If you do have people or if you yourself are working on a film and would like to license any of the music, please, please, please DM me, reach out to me, contact me. I'm working on and doing better with checking my DM, especially because just like everybody else, you wake up every day and you look at your socials, or every other creator, I should say, and you hope that today's the day I went viral and I got this shout out by LeBron or Cole DM me or Nas or whomever, somebody, Hove called my phone and I missed this call in the middle of the night, whoever or whatever it is. You know, we all hoping and wishing that we wake up to that. So if you do have any relationships, please DM me. Let me know. Any and all assistance is so greatly appreciated. For those who may be interested in wondering where some of this has been coming from, my garden apparel hats, DM me. They definitely are being made, not on the website fully yet, but you will be able to purchase the hats in a more structured way through the website soon. Right now, if you would like to purchase, just DM me. Regular prices. These are snapbacks. Red, black, and blue are the colors I have right now. I also have truckers that have the jumbo logos. So if you are interested in any of this, this is from IMI. Shout out to my homie Ty. The brand is currently being revamped and built up right now. So if you are somebody that's interested, you could definitely follow the official IMI page, the officially our official IMI clothing. You could definitely find that. I will be tagging it in the videos. I will be posting the links on YouTube for anybody who is interested in the IMI It Takes Heart stuff, which is who and what the project ultimately is about. It is about having heart, working through your obstacles, overcoming the challenges, being resilient. As I even referenced Ty in one of the songs in a situation experience that she had gone through during the time and making of this project. So this is the reason why you are seeing me wear this It Takes Heart, the IMI stuff throughout all of this project, because this is who and what the project is about. It's for those who have been punched and kicked and stepped on, knocked down however many times by life. Just life whooping their ass as hard as it can sometimes, and being able to get up, keep fighting, so that one day you could look over and say, you thought you had me. Got up, keep fighting, keep working. And that's what IMI is all about. So again, I appreciate you. I thank you, especially to those who listen to this last part of it. Truly appreciate you giving your time. If you have not, please tap into the older episodes. And again, Shelby Paris, this is the project breakdown for my upcoming project, or now release project, depending on when you're hearing this, To Healing. So peace, love, prosperity. I appreciate you tapping in.